Hello students. Today I am going to discuss little bit about spectroscopy. So before going to the spectroscopy topic, first of all, here's a question that anytime it comes in your mind that how could you know structure of any compound? Okay, whatever the functional group that you can check with a test. There may be methyl group or ethyl group, but how could you confirm? So structure of compound, that is very curious question for every student, especially for the chemistry student, and that structure of compound can be identified, compound can be identified, analyzed by different techniques. That techniques are chromatography, gas chromatography, absorption spectroscopy, and spectroscopy. Chromatography is the separation technique, that suppose if there is a mixture of the compound is present, so that separation of different compound from the mixture, that we use chromatography. If molecular weight of that compound is very little, very low, then that is done with the help of gas chromatography. And now we comes to spectroscopy. In the spectroscopy, that is a specific type, specific technique where we actually study spectra. Now question, how this spectra has come? So spectra has come because of the absorption and emission of electron that present in an atom. That may be because of atom, because of absorption or emission of energy. Here I want to rectify one thing, that absorption and emission of energy by an electron or by an atom in a molecule. If that is by an electron, then there is the excitation and relaxation occur. If that is by an atom, there is a vibration actually occur. Okay, so if there is the excitation and relaxation occur, that excitation is because of the absorption of energy, absorption of radiation from anywhere. That radiation that we get from electromagnetic radiation. And one more thing, that if there is the absorption of energy takes place, then there is a relaxation or emission of energy is also there. So what that absorption and emission actually comes in form of spectra. If there is electron absorption, that we study in UV spectroscopy, and if there is the absorption of energy by an atom, that is in IR spectroscopy. In a molecule, that absorption or emission, absorption of electron in a molecule by an atom, that result actually vibration. So that's why this infrared spectroscopy also termed as vibrational spectroscopy. Now question, from where this term infrared come? So I think it is clear in your mind that infrared is the reason of electromagnetic radiation. That reason, there is actually specific frequency of radiation that fall in infrared region. Now in concluding, infrared spectroscopy is a technique where we get a spectra via vibration of atoms in a molecule, where atoms are vibrated to and fro, and that occur when the spectral energy is between 600 to 4000 per centimeter. This region also termed as infrared region. That's why it is also termed as infrared spectroscopy. So infrared spectroscopy is a type of spectral technique that is used to deduce the structure of a compound. Now Question: what is special in it? Before going to special, first we should know that what is actually the principle of this IR spectroscopy. So the principle, as already I discussed, that there is absorption of radiation actually done by the atom in a molecule. So that IR radiation absorbed by interatomic bond of a molecule, and that have different environment. Because they have different environment, so they have absorb varying intensity and varying frequency. That varying intensity and varying frequency comes in a form of peak or in form of signals that we get in form of spectra. And the movement of atom in a molecule like ball attached with the spring, which may be contract or relax. You can see here, suppose these two are the atom. These two atoms, suppose this is C bounded by C or bounded by D, anyone. So this C and D two are the different atoms that are bounded by a spring. So I think you can imagine now that there is a structure where two balls are attached together via spring. And now it's clear in you. Now it's clear that if there is the spring, okay, because of the spring there is some compression and relaxation maybe occur. What happened? Suppose you stretch string. If you stretch, there is a force occur. There may be the bending of that string occur. So that stretching and bending that we get in form of spectra. That overall spectra is based on Hooke's law. Hooke's law states that if there is two atoms bonded together via a spring, via a bond, this bond behave like a spring, and whatever the force occur here, this force is this is not the force actually, this is a force constant. This kappa is the force constant here, and Hooke's law states that frequency is equal to 1 by 2 pi under root force constant upon this mu. Okay, so this mu, what is mu is question, what is mu? Mu is the reduced mass, and that reduced mass we can calculate via the formula, this one, this mu value. So your overall the value, overall the formula of Hooke's law is this, where this one is your frequency and this is your reduced mass. That reduced mass you calculate with this formula, m1 into m2 divided by m1 plus m2. Okay, I think now it is clear that because of that there is some frequency generated, and that frequency that gives you different spectra, and that spectra comes, that spectra, overall spectra, that is IR spectra, now gives you idea that what is actually a compound. Clear? Now next question, what actually spectra tell us, कहता क्या है हमसे? So जो overall spectra है, that overall spectra you can divide into two form, basically two form, two group. The first is the functional group and the second is the fingerprint group. Fingerprint and functional, it is clear in your mind? I think not clear. So just before that I am going to discuss little bit something else. Suppose this is a compound CH3OH, okay, or here is the compound this CH3Cl. So this, here is this one group, or this one group is the functional group. Okay, another compound CH3CH2COOH. OH. Correcting. CH3, CH2, COOH. Okay, this is one molecule. And another molecule is CH3, CH2OH. Here you can point out one thing, that this group is same here, but this one is different. This is the functional group and this is the functional group and this is the parent group. This parent group is the same here. But if suppose you have CH3, CH3OH and C2H5OH. Okay, so here this CH3OH is the methyl alcohol and C2H5OH is the ethyl alcohol. This CH3 and C2H5 both are different. This one and this one, that form fingerprint region. This OH group form the functional group region. Functional group region gives us idea that what functional group is present actually. And fingerprint region gives specific identified active group, that carbon chain group present in organic molecule. Sometimes in examination, if there is a question has come that what is fingerprint region, write short note on fingerprint region. So many of you students write down, yes, everyone have said their own fingerprint. This fingerprint is help to catch the thief, and this help in the CID, and it is used in the Aadhaar card and the PAN card and DL card and so and so. This type of foolish thing. No. This fingerprint region is actually a specific fingerprint region gives us idea. What idea? That specific particular molecule where whatever the CH3 CH2 group is present or C2H5 group is present or there is the ethyl group, propyl group is present, what is the bonding actually present between the carbon atom and carbon hydrogen atom or any other. So this if any two atom which have same functional group, as in case of methyl alcohol and ethyl alcohol, if they have same functional group, but if they have different first group like CH3 and CH2, so whatever they are bonding, that gives different spectra. If two atoms have the same spectra in fingerprint region, that is they have same fingerprint group, that is suppose CH3 group same in the two compound. So fingerprint group is a specific identified region of a particular group that gives ideal arrangement between the atoms. Got it? यानी जब अगर हम दो मॉलिक्यूल्स लें और दो मॉलिक्यूल्स में अगर दो मॉलिक्यूल्स का एक पर्टिकुलर फिंगरप्रिंट रीजन का स्पेक्ट्रा अगर सेम आता है, दैट मीन्स उस मॉलिक्यूल में जो हमारा इनिशियल पार्ट है वो इनिशियल पार्ट हमारा सेम है. यानी CH3OH और CH3COH को अगर हम ले लेते हैं तो CH3OH का OH फंक्शनल ग्रुप है और CH3COOH का फंक्शनल ग्रुप है. OH और COH फंक्शनल ग्रुप फ़र्क हैं, पर CH3 दोनों का सेम है और ये फिंगरप्रिंट रीजन में सेम स्पेक्ट्रा देगा. पर अगर हम CH3OH और CH3CH2OH को लेते हैं तो ये अलग अलग हमको स्पेक्ट्रा देगा, क्योंकि CH3 ग्रुप और CH3CH2 ग्रुप दोनों अलग अलग ग्रुप हैं. तो fingerprint region gives identification of a particular carbon chain where it shows what's the bonding actually found between the atoms, and it is the identity of a compound. So overall spectra divided into two parts, functional group region and the fingerprint region. Functional group region gives us idea about the what functional group is present actually, and fingerprint region gives the idea what actually the chain, what is the bonding occur between the atoms. That overall we get with the help of this spectra. So There is one more question, that IR spectra is often characterized as molecule fingerprint. I think now it is clear in your mind what should be the answer. That IR spectra, each and every molecule has their own specific IR spectra in fingerprint region. If they are different molecule, and if two molecule have same IR spectra in fingerprint region, that means they have same carbon chain in the molecule. Got it? Now next question, what are IR active molecules? This is the question. So question, what are IR active molecule? यहाँ आप ध्यान से देखिएगा एक important चीज़, IR active molecules must have this type of vibrations. That means there should be the two different atoms, they should be attached. And not only this, if suppose this is C and this C attached with X here and X here, so this will be not an IR active molecule, because whatever is stretching here, whatever stretching occur here, same bending here or whatever is it, this is a symmetrical type of molecule. तो एक word आया ना symmetrical, that means IR active molecule will not be symmetrical. So that's why a question has come here, that this question says CO2 is not a IR active molecule. Why? Correct. Why? Because this is CO2. So this is your carbon, oxygen with oxygen. At here, both are the same atom present in molecule at both sides. So whatever is stretching or bending occur, that is symmetrical. If that's asymmetrical, they will not show any type of spectra, because whatever the stretching or bending happen, that will not show any type of spectra. Because that not show any type of spectra, that means they are not IR active molecule. Okay, so these are the main that I want to discuss here about the IR spectra. What is IR spectroscopy? What is spectroscopy? What is IR spectroscopy? On which principle it work, and how we can identify a molecule. In next lecture I will discuss little bit more about it. Thank you.